You ever get that feeling? That cold, creeping certainty that something isn't right, that the world you thought you knew has a hidden layer just beneath the surface. It was a Tuesday, just another Tuesday. I was cleaning out my old password manager, deleting forgotten accounts, clearing digital clutter. Then I saw it, a login I didn't recognize. Afterlife.net username, my email, password auto-generated, last modified. Today I never created this account. My heart started to pound, a slow, heavy drum against my ribs. I clicked visit site. The screen went dark. It loaded for 30 seconds. Just a black screen, a spinning circle. 30 seconds felt like an eternity. Then a page. White text on black. One line. Welcome back. 3 souls are waiting for your response. My breath hitched. 3 souls. I scrolled down. 3 names. All people I know. All people who died this year. Sarah, Mark, Emily. Sarah, my old college roommate, died in a car accident last spring. Mark, my uncle, heart attack in July. Emily, a colleague, gone too soon, just last month. The air in my apartment grew cold. I could feel it, a chill seeping into my bones, despite the heater running. The faint hum of the refrigerator seemed to amplify a low, guttural growl. I looked around. The shadows in the corners of the room seemed deeper, almost alive. I tried to close the tab. It wouldn't budge. The cursor flickered, then froze. My computer was locked on that page. 3 souls are waiting for your response. I got up, walked to the window. The streetlights cast long, distorted shadows. A faint smell of damp earth, even though it hadn't rained. I felt a presence behind me, a cold breath on my neck. I spun around. Nothing, just the empty room. I went back to the screen. The names, Sarah, Mark, Emily. What did they want? What response? My fingers hovered over the keyboard. I felt a strange compulsion, a pull towards the screen. Later that night, I was on the bus. The city lights blurred past. I saw my reflection in the window. For a split second, a shadow moved behind me in the reflection. A shape that wasn't there when I turned. The bus rattled, a faint metallic clang from the back. At home, I tried to ignore it. I made dinner. The spoon clattered to the floor. I picked it up. Then a small photo frame on my desk. A picture of Sarah slowly tilted and fell face down. No breeze, no vibration, just fell. The next day at work, I was in the empty break room. The coffee machine hissed. I heard a whisper, faint like wind through dry leaves. Help us. It was Sarah's voice, or what I remembered of it. My blood ran cold. I started seeing things a flicker in my peripheral vision, a cold spot in a crowded room. The smell of Emily's perfume in an empty hallway. Mark's favorite song playing softly from a neighbor's apartment, even though he lived miles away. The website was still open on my computer at home. I couldn't close it. I couldn't turn off the computer. It was always there. 3 souls are waiting for your response. I started to feel them, their sadness, their confusion, their longing. It was like a weight pressing down on me. I wasn't alone anymore. Not really. One night, I woke up. The room was freezing. My breath plumed in the air. The computer screen glowed, brighter than usual. The names were still there. But now, beneath each name, a single word appeared. Sarah. Forgive. Mark. Remember. Emily. Listen. Forgive. Remember. Listen. What did it mean? What was I supposed to do? The cold deepened. I felt a hand on my shoulder. I didn't dare look. I knew it wasn't human. The next few days were a blur. I tried to research afterlife.net, but it yielded nothing. No search results, no forum discussions, no dark web mentions. It was as if the site only existed for me. The pleas from Sarah, Mark, and Emily grew stronger, more insistent. I started to hear their voices, not just as whispers, but as distinct thoughts in my own head. Sarah's voice, tinged with regret, spoke of a secret she carried, a betrayal that haunted her. Forgive him, forgive me. I racked my brain, trying to recall any conflict involving Sarah. There was a falling out with a mutual friend years ago over a misunderstanding. Could that be it? Mark's voice, heavy with sorrow, urged me to remember. Remember the promise you made. My Uncle Key had always been a mentor, a rock. I remembered a conversation years ago where I promised to look after his old workshop to keep his legacy alive. I had let it fall into disrepair. A pang of guilt. Emily's voice, a desperate plea, simply repeated, "Listen. Listen to the silence. It holds the truth." Emily, always so quiet, observant. What truth could the silence hold? I started paying attention to the quiet moments, the spaces between sounds, the subtle creaks of my old house, the distant hum of the city. They seemed to carry a new, unsettling resonance. The manifestations intensified. Objects would move when I wasn't looking. My phone would ring with no caller ID, and when I answered, only static, then a faint, distorted voice. I saw Sarah's reflection in puddles, Mark's silhouette in the fog, Emily's shadow darting in my peripheral vision. They weren't trying to scare me, not exactly. They were trying to communicate, to guide me. One evening, I found myself drawn to Mark's old workshop. The door creaked open, revealing a dusty, forgotten space. As I stepped inside, the air grew heavy, and the word "remember" echoed in my mind. I saw an old, locked chest in the corner. I remembered Mark telling me about it. A place where he kept his most cherished memories. I had the key, a small tarnished thing he'd given me years ago. Inside the chest, among old tools and faded photographs, I found a letter. It was from Sarah, addressed to Mark, written shortly before her death. It confessed to a mistake, a lie she had told that had ruined the mutual friend's reputation. She begged for Mark's help in setting things right, but he had died before he could act. "Forgive," Sarah's voice whispered. "Help him, forgive." And then a small antique locket. Inside, a tiny, almost invisible inscription. The truth is in the quiet. Emily's words. I held the locket, and a wave of understanding washed over me. The silence wasn't empty. It was filled with unspoken stories, with the echoes of lives cut short. I realized what I had to do. I had to fulfill their unfinished business. I contacted the mutual friend, explained Sarah's letter, and helped clear her name. I began restoring Mark's workshop, honoring his memory, and I started to truly listen, not just to sounds, but to the subtle energies, the unseen currents of the world. The afterlife.net page on my computer finally changed. The names were still there, but beneath them, the words shifted. Sarah, at peace. Mark, honored. Emily heard. The cold in my apartment lessened. The shadows retreated. The weight lifted, but the connection remained. I still felt them. Sometimes a gentle presence, a quiet reassurance. Some things once seen cannot be unseen. Some doors once opened cannot be closed. And some connections once made are eternal. This isn't just a story, it's a warning. What forgotten accounts might be lurking in your digital past? What unfinished business might be waiting for your response? If you've ever felt that chill, that whisper in the dark, that sense of something more, then you know there are more stories like this waiting to be told. Follow along if you dare.